Welcome to the latest Siemens Partner Podcast, a podcast for partners to give some insight, perspective and dive into the world of Siemens. We will be discussing various issues, challenges and gaining insight from our esteemed guests. So let's get going. Today's guest is Lloyd, Naidoo, Financial Director of Siemens Digital Industries covering the UK and Ireland. So welcome Lloyd to the Siemens Partner Podcast from sunny Manchester. How are you?
Hi Mark. Thank you for the invite. Good to be here. I'm glad you used the word sunny Manchester. I've seen the grey skyline now for weeks on end.
Yeah, that is Manchester all over, I'm afraid to say. So that's why we always call it sunny. So, first of all, to get things going, I always ask my guests this question. You're hosting a dinner for 5 people. You're one of them, of course. What other 4 people would you invite, either dead or alive, but they must be famous?
Ooh. That's an interesting one. Really great question, Mark. I have thought about this, not now, but unofficially. Who would I ever have if I want to engage in a discussion? Some of my, should I say, heroes or people that I looked up to over the years, Usain Bolt, probably one of the greatest athletes of our time, that continued success on how year after year he continued to be the world's fastest runner, 100 meters. Being South African, Nelson Mandela, the great leader that he was, simplicity, humility. Bill Gates, how he continued to drive success, continued to evolve, stay relevant with technology. And funny enough, Alex Ferguson. Now, I'm not a Manchester United fan.
Oh, I'm glad you said that, because neither am I.
But I will disclose I'm a Gunners fan. I'm an Arsenal fan.
Oh, no. That's all we need, me being a Tottenham fan. This is not going to go great this afternoon now, is it?
We'll take this in comes, Mark. But Alex Ferguson, if I look back at the success that he brought at the club, he never had the best complement of players, yet he always got the results.
Yes, he did, to be fair.
So we got to be fair to him. So around the dinner table, I would love to have had that conversation around what spurred them on to success and have that continuous change and make themselves more relevant year after year to stay competitive.
That's a very varied group of people, but I think they're all winners, which is you're a firm believer of it.
So staying with that, and I hope you're prepared, because if I had to flip that and ask you, who would you have at the dinner table?
Right, okay. So I have answered this once before in a previous podcast. So as it's my podcast, I can give another 4 people. And I haven't thought about this at all, so it's coming off the top of my head. So I would like to maybe see Elvis Presley. I'd like to understand his life and what he went through and, the pitfalls he had for being a successful singer. I would also like to just get into a room with Donald Trump, because the man is an enigma to me, and the things he comes out with and everything else. I'd just love to get a conversation with him to see where it comes from. From that fact, I would go maybe into sport as well, because I'm a very big sport person. I would have liked to. I would like to have a conversation with Freddie Flintoff at the moment, because he's had a lot of troubles and bits and his career there. And then really I think I'd go away from that and I would look at sort of maybe someone else in history. Maybe Emily Pankhurst or something from the Suffragettes, something like that, because, it's just getting a different perspective on things and people's time and change. But the list could be endless, Lloyd.
Yes.
The list could be endless.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for sharing, Mark.
Oh, and thank you very much for chucking it back at me. So, there's a few areas I wish to cover in the time we have. And the first one is quite a broad question. What changes can we expect to see in 2025?
Yeah. So, Mark, to answer that, we've seen the last 18 months to 2 years, the business landscape has been quite challenging, coming through a period of extraordinary demand, after the pandemic and the supply chain crisis. We've had significant levels of growth. Then we had progressed towards normalization. And with that, we've had market changes, disruptions in the market, different business models. We've had to adjust to the changing market environment. So it has been a challenging period for partners, and a big shout out to our solution partners, for staying in there through the thick and the thin, helping us specify Siemens into their offers. I mean, without that, we don't stand a chance of creating an install base.
Yeah.
They are an integral part of our success. And despite all the changes in the markets now that may come as we transition towards normalization, we want to thank them, and they need to continue to trust in our technology. Now, that landscape is ever changing.
Yeah.
We've got the ecosystem of different partners, different suppliers, customers, technology. We've got digital platforms and how we can showcase our offering. And it's good that they stay close to this technology, because it's really important that we demonstrate our complete offering. That's going to be the game changer.
Yeah.
In terms of a value add that we're going to bring to a customer. And this is where we trust in our solution partners to actually drive that for us. Now, the good news is that despite the changing market dynamic, our midterm strategy, we will still aim to grow through our partners and verticals.
Yeah.
That hasn't changed. And in all that we do, we will satisfy the needs of our customers through sustainability and digitalization.
Yep.
Yeah? Now, happy to report that I touched on the business performance. We finished last financial year, which was end of September, on a bit of a high, despite us contracting year on year compared to the previous years of higher performance. Quarter 4, which was a period between July and September, we've seen the highest quarter in almost 2 years. Right. So if that was a sign of good things to come, Quarter 1 of FY25, which was a period between October and December that we've just finished, showed an even better momentum. Now, there's a positive sentiment that's growing, not only in the UK and Ireland, but we see it in the US market that's stabilizing.
Right.
China has just reported a growth.
Yeah, that's good news.
There's pockets of growth and development in other parts of Asia, Africa, Middle East. So we do see ourselves marginally growing, which is a positive sign. Now, looking at the target that we had this year, some may think it was ambitious.
I did, yes. To be honest, I did think it was ambitious.
Thanks for always being honest, Mark. But the good news is we aligned that with the market growth.
Right.
Yeah, and that's where we positioned ourselves. And we were tasked to grow fast and gain market share.
Yeah.
And that's what's asked of us. And now a message to our solution partners is we need to drive that growth. We need to ensure we stay close to those opportunities, use the power of the Siemens technology, the brand, the reputation, to harness that, and let's go and gain market share. Let's win those opportunities in 2025. Easier said than done.
Yeah.
We've got to stay close to the technology. What other pockets of, I would say, areas where we can leverage the opportunities? One would be, we recently launched something, and it may not be applicable to all, but I would encourage the solution partners to reach out to their respective representatives at Siemens. We've launched something called the extended payment terms.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. And we do offer this if they do qualify for it. And this is done on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity where if there's a cash flow constraint, it allows for an extended payment term. It definitely, we see it as a game changer for growth. They could come forward. We'll look at it together to see if there's an opportunity where there's a bit of liquidity involved. It certainly helps in this regard.
Yeah.
Come forward. Let's work on it together. And if they meet the criteria and qualify for this, we call it a facility.
Yeah.
Let's explore it.
Our partners don't know how lucky they are, do they? We've got to afford them.
Yeah, and so my ask is, if they haven't seen a Siemens representative in a while, reach out to yourself, that we put them in touch with the correct product owner, the technology owner, so that we stay relevant. Yeah. I think it's really important at this day and age, because our customers know exactly what they want when it comes to driving sustainability and digitalization.
Yes.
Using the correct platforms. And at the end of the day, their success is our success.
Yeah, I'd see sustainability as a big driver moving forward, and I know we're having a big push on it, aren't we, as a company?
Yeah.
And I do see that. And do you see that as I know you've mentioned it a couple of times as a way forward, but do you see that be more market making now as we move forward in time, and people be more aware, or is it still a big hill to go up to because people are not aware or don't understand it?
And that's a valid point, Mark. So the last few customer visits that I had in different industries with end customers, the customers have mentioned it a few times, so they know exactly what they want.
Good.
They are talking about Siemens and our solution partners coming forward with an offering that's not only going to help them with their efficiency and output, but it's about driving their elimination of waste, resource efficiency.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I can understand that. And then that helps everybody, doesn't it, when you start looking at different areas to grow and be more sustainable. It's a great thing. So, okay, I mean, that's absolutely fantastic what you've answered so far, Lloyd. We'll take a short break now, and we'll be back very shortly for part 2. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark.